What is up, crap stains? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be in Major League Baseball for Tuesday, May the 11th. Game is going to be played between the Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals. Going for the Tigers is Matthew Boyd, and for the Royals is Brady Singer. Current betting spread is Royals minus 125, total 7.5. So quick recap for the last few games because that's what we do here. So I dropped the solo play with the Sox Royals over 8.5, but came back on the live show on Saturday with the A's money line as a plus 125 dog versus the Rays. Then dropped the Phillies team total, though, over 3.5 from the Sunday night baseball shout from the live vid on Sunday. Solo vids, though, currently sit 8-3 from onset. And look, let's aim to build on that here and get back on track. Now, as I sit in the middle of a current small but apparent rough patch in this sport, gives me a good chance to talk on some schematics here. Sport and baseball can be quite streaky betting it. By the way, I mean, much like the sport is inherently, right? Streaky. Fire more when winning, when the board looks clear or is clear. Less when the opposite. Seems super obvious, and yet I see so many people try to shoot themselves out of a cooler in a particular sport. You're not like in a basketball gym, shooting up unlimited shots, firing until you get your motions back. This is your hard-earned money constantly going at risk. An underrated quality of many who bet sports and actually profit is their ability to bob and weave very well. Remember, dodging losses is actually more valuable than finding wins doing this. And this is, of course, because of the extra 10 cents of VIG, right? And by profiting, I'm not talking like being up 200 units or whatever because you bet 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 unit plays. I mean, sure, the logic is, I guess, reasonable, but you're telling me all these folks make bets 10 times their normal size constantly? I mean, come on. I'll do a new video in the near future on bankroll management because I do think you'll find it helpful. I'll be sure to cover all angles that surround this. I mean, first of all, don't even get me started on a bankroll as a whole. You either flat bet, you use a system like Kelly Criterion, or you don't have a bankroll and you just keep about 3 to 4 bets worth in your one sports book. Having a full-time bankroll is another thing. Sounds great in theory, but how many actually follow this? I mean, what happens when you're on a bad cooler and your quote-unquote bankroll runs out? I mean, you just redeposit more money, right? So then you defeat the entire purpose of the quote-unquote bankroll. And I'll also talk on chasing and coolers and how they're both just ultimate punishment. Well, if you're chasing during coolers, but I don't want to get too into the weeds because we have a baseball play to talk about. But yes, expect a video from me on that in the near future. All right, so let's dive into the play here. Battle of the tomato cans, some may say. But I do see some value here. The Tigers as a dog is borderline criminal in this spot. The Royals have no business being favored. They, of course, can lose, the Tigers. But this line's simply not correct. I will say that the Royals often see steam, so it wouldn't surprise me if this line moved in their favor. But I locked in plus 108 with the Tigers at DraftKings in New Jersey. I said this a bit on the live shows this week, and this Tigers team is hitting right now. The market never seems to adjust to bad teams when they're hitting well. Contrary to this, the market will undoubtedly always overreact when good teams are hitting well, like the Dodgers or the Yankees. Think about the last time the Dodgers were on a winning streak or the Yankees were on a big winning streak. I mean, how many people were like, yeah, I'm going to step in front of this team and fade them? No, everybody wants to back them when they're winning, right? But when bad teams are hitting, most people pay no mind. The Tigers have averaged a robust almost 6.5 runs over their last 5 games, and they've been doing it in all sorts of ways. This team may be dead last in hitting versus left-handed pitching specifically, but they're getting better versus right-handed pitching, and lucky for them, they get Singer here from the right side. I have little reason to think this Tigers team and their bats lose their mojo against Singer in this spot. While we're on Singer, let's talk a bit about him. Now, he's off to a good start of the year, and his advanced stuff defends him as well. Walks are a bit of a scare, though, and this Tigers team has been averaging over 4 walks per game over their last 5. Patience is a virtue, what the cool kids say. Keller's been good at not giving up home runs, and now faces a team that doesn't have much pop in the Tigers. But look, the Tigers are getting guys on the base paths, creating scoring opportunities, and that's really what you're looking for. Singer's also by no means an innings eater, and the sooner he gets this ball over the Royals' pen, the better. With no Jesse Hahn or Kyle Zimmer, his pen is really lacking. Sure, they still have guys like Stallman and Barlow and Holland. If you're into Holland, I mean, Holland specifically has been a mess thus far in the year. This also assumes, of course, that if those 3 are coming in, that Brady Singer goes 6 innings, which by his standards is no guarantee. Let's head over to the other side, though. I spoke on the Tigers' bats, but how about the Royals' bats? Over the Royals' last 6 games, averaging less than 2 runs per game. So, I'm reading it. I'm reading off my notes, and I'm like, that doesn't even. It's true. 2 runs per game. It actually even drops to 1 run per game over the last 4. This team is doing nothing with runners in scoring position over the last 6 games. Not stringing together hits collectively, and just a complete black hole in the middle or bottom of this lineup, or middle and bottom of this lineup. Could their tune change for this game? Of course, possible, but why would I assume that's going to be the case? Now, Matt Boyd comes back from his knee injury here in this start and appears to be good to go on all fronts. His K rate way down from his norm, but so is his walk rate. Less free passes leading to less runs given up. I mean, what a world. He may not be as good as his 2.270 ERA thus far, but he's fortunate to join this Royals team who are slumping. This season also, Boyd has been an innings eater, which is a leg up from his guy that he'll be going up against in Brady Singer. Sure, the injury forced a short stint out from last time with Matt Boyd, but he pitched into the 6th inning in all his other starts, and he's been nothing short of economic on the bump with his pitch count. Now, this Royals team has been swinging a lot at muck during this stretch, and I'd expect Boyd to use this to hit his advantage in this start. Now, at a surface level, the Royals may check a lot of boxes in this game, but when you dig deeper, I'd argue the Tigers are better in every aspect coming into this game. Now, I'm not talking full season. It's all about baseball streaky. It's all about how teams are playing coming into certain games. I'd argue better starting pitcher in Boyd. Better bats right now for sure with the way they're clicking. A few key pen guys that are out for KC. I'd argue it's at worst a split with the Pens. And when you add in the fact that Matthew Boyd likely goes longer than Singer in this start, I have the needle moving in that favor in terms of the Tigers if we're talking inning by inning here for when the Pens actually end up making their debut for both teams. Oh, and by the way, the Tigers are also home. All this has the line very favorable for me, and I fired. So again, Tigers money line plus 108. My numbers, Royals have no business being a favorite in this spot. Got this, DraftKings in New Jersey. May the odds be ever in our favor. Want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope you wake up with a pair of nuts in your mouth. As always, drop comments below your thoughts on the vid and let me know who you're betting for this slate. Don't ever forget, folks, the water in the comment section is warm. Dive on in. And look, I always get back to you, so just don't be shy. Joey's going to have you covered for the next few days in bases on this channel. And Spread will have you covered in NBA with Tyler and the DFS crew. So be sure to always like the videos you jerk off. It's not hard. Not asking for you guys for a lot, of course, unless you have like carpal tunnel. Then, of course, stay away. But no, look, like the vids. There's a lot of good content from this channel. All right, guys, thank you again for watching. Be sure to gamble responsibly. Stay safe, folks.